PG, sir. We saw a publication by one Oshevere on a popular blog referring to you as not the President General of Orobo Progress Union, saying that Honorable Moses Tiger is the rightful President General, sir. How do you react to this?
Oshevere, former aide to Chief James Ibori, cannot be taken as a serious Yoruba man, because a serious and patriotic Yoruba man, Yoruba has a tradition. You should know your father, who your father is. The UPU is the umbrella body, you see, covering the entire Yoruba people, socio-culturally, and is established to promote the interest of the Yoruba nation. A non-indigenous cannot be the President General. It's not a political position, the President Generalship. It's not a political position. If some people, because they want to sabotage the efforts of the Yoruba nation, they want to subjugate the Yoruba people and make sure that they perpetually remain as second-class citizens, they can be, and they come up to say, and Ijaw man is the President General. It's very serious, because this man is a self-confessed Ijaw man. If you say your father is Ijaw, then what are you? You are Ijaw. It's possible that, okay, his hand stretched like from the mother side to Orobo. That doesn't qualify you to head the UPU, because you must be purely an Orobo man. It does not mean I've stayed in Lagos before. Many other people have stayed in Kano. Orobo people stayed in Kano, stayed in Enugu, and there they had to walk. From there, while there they had children. Those children, the children I had in Lagos, cannot grow to become the Oba of Lagos. The one in Kano cannot grow to any Yoruba man who has lived his life in Kano, had children there. Those children cannot grow to become the Emir of Kano or Eze of Igbo. And again, that is still good. Now talking of Afenifere. Afenifere, there is no Yoruba man, the Yoruba man will say, because the mother came to work here and had to marry a Yoruba woman and so become the president of Afenifere. The same thing with Arewa and Nwaneze. So, for somebody to say, come forward and tell Yoruba and the outside world that Ologu Moses Tiger is the President General of UPU. You see, the person is only mocking himself, because this man Tiger has told the entire world in a publication that his father comes from Ijaw, not grandfather, not great-grandfather, but the father that gave birth to him, that the main father that he came from Ijaw of Kiagbodo and come to work at Okpare, gave birth to his children. And so you say he's an honorable man. When I talk like this, I don't just wake up to talk rubbish, because the facts are there, and he said it himself. Let me quote, look at this book, Olomu and Development of Yorubaland and Western Niger Delta, Ancient and Modern Versions. In this book, written by Professor Peter Eke, Onuanwari Edebie, and Peter Ishaka. You see, let me quote from the book, what the book said about Tiger Joseph Zeze. That's the father of Ologu Moses Tiger. Joseph Tiger Zeze was said to be 106 years old when he died in 1994. A fact that will place his time of birth in the year 1888 with asterisk. Both of his parents hailed from within the neighborhood of Okpare, not Okpare, neighborhood, where he was born. His mother from the Okogbosu family in Okpare itself, and his father, Zeze, from the Matolo family in Kiagbodo, in the Ijo area of the Western Niger Delta. And in that asterisk, it said, the authors now say, much of the information used for this account was provided by Olorogu Moses Tiger, son of Chief Joseph Tiger Zeze, during a telephone interview that was conducted on April 10, 2012. So, if the man said, my father is Ijo, Kiagbodo, Ijo. So what does that mean? We have examples like that. Our elder statesman brother, senior brother, Chief E.K. Clark, the father is Ijo, the mother is Robo. He has not come one day to say, oh, he's no longer an Ijo. Somebody should be proud of his heritage. If you are Ijo, say you are Ijo. Ijo is a prominent, highly respected tribe in Nigeria. He has other siblings that are same parents and same father. Many of them live in Warri. None of them have come out to say they are Orobo, that they are not Ijo. When he said, Moses Tiger is the authentic UPU President General. What makes him to be the President General? Who handed over to him? Which election did he conduct that handed over to him? You see, when you look at the names of the people, President General of UPU, from day one till my time, somebody was handing over to the other. Who handed over to Tiger? General Patrick Aziza, may so rest in peace, handed over to me the mantle of leadership. And after serving out his tenure, I conducted an election. What brought out all this crisis? This crisis was brought up because some people, some Orobo people, never wanted Orobo to produce the governorship. They wanted another person to produce the governorship. And this one, they pleaded with me several times. I refused. I said, UPU cannot support a non-Orobo. If you like, label me a tribalist. I don't care. Because what was the purpose of establishing the UPU? To protect and defend the interests of the Orobo people anywhere in the world. So if you are working against your brother, are you protecting the interests of the Orobo? Are you defending it? No. And because of that position, when I was to serve out the tenure of General Aziza, some Orobo people took the matter to the governor. Look, UP election is coming, and as it is, we better make sure that Omene does not win that election. Otherwise, it will still be opposing you when you want to go for your second tenure. That's the genesis of the whole crisis. What happened? The Tiger himself contested. The man who said he convened the election, the meeting again after the general election, Barrister Timo contested. They have formed everything there. When it became obvious that they will lose, some went to court to stop me. They couldn't. But when they knew they couldn't stop me in the court, they used physical raw power, position army, military-like vehicles at the venue, police, everything. They put it there. They blocked us from conducting election, just like they did to Kumagba in those days. Then we left them to Kere. They still blocked us until we came to Mosga to do it. The UK branch was there. Burkina Faso, many other branches from outside there, Oroboland were there. All the branches were there. The delegates were there to participate in the election. The Constitution says such election should be held the first week of December. When we have held that conducted that election, we've done the annual Congress. What happened? They now one of them who contested said, publish the paper. The evidence is still there. We supplied the court. Publish in the paper, this UPU crisis is good, that it should be resolved. Let's go to Yamugu and then resolve to discuss the crisis. Many robots went there. When they got there, they said election. How do you conduct a UPU election? Is it policemen who came with their buses, escorted their buses that carried ballot papers and vote? No delegate was there. He should tell me. He should name a branch. So, if some people just wake up with the might of government and say they want to ridicule the Yoruba nation, let's conduct election. Who were the people? It was consulted by the annual Yoruba National Congress. And you call yourself President General. My God. This stomach infrastructure of a thing is terrible. Talking of legitimacy, if I am the incumbent President General and you come to cause confusion and the matter is in the court, you wait for the outcome of the court. Status quo ante remains. And that was the position of Justice Gbemle when they took me to court to say, oh, we cannot conduct election. The High Court judge said, no, status quo remains. That is, who is President General remains the President General until after the case. You who wanted to hijack power, you say you are the legitimate one. What makes you legitimate? That's point number 2. The matter is in the court. And in the court, the last sitting, none of them appeared. Even none of their lawyers appeared. They are running away. Why are they running away? Because we've got to the end of the tunnel. After that meeting, then the court will adjourn for judgment. Whether anybody likes it or not, one day the court will give judgment. And when the court gives judgment, you know who is the president, the President General, who has the right to conduct such election. Since that time, government has been supporting them. The government will say, annual National Congress, 50 million, vote 50 million, 25 million. We don't care. We've not been caring about whatever is given to them. But what have they done with all those whooping sum of money? Nothing. There is no way under this sun that I will hand over the reign of UPU to an Ijaw man. It's not possible. It's about integrity. How can you run? Are they telling me, like I asked him, are they telling me the over 6 million Urhobo people in this world, can they find one person? Assuming Omene is not there, can they get one Urhobo man to head the UPU? There are hundreds and hundreds of thousands who are better than Chief Omene. It's only by coincidence that I am there. But as long as I'm there, I will not mortgage the interest of Urhobo for any reason, for any amount, no matter what. For the 4 years that he claimed to be, that he's been embarrassing the Urhobo nation, what did he do with the position? Nothing, apart from those two. It is everybody knows it's the turn of Urhobo to produce the next governor by virtue of the rotation. When the governor now, at the end of his tenure, making preparation to hand over to an Ijaw man, what did he come to? Did he say anything? I'm the authentic President General. I'm the authentic President General. Did Oshevile say anything? Did he condemn the action of the government for wanting to do something like that? When it's the turn of Urhobo, they can't talk to the government. They can speak the truth. Urhobo people should shine their eyes. There's more to this than what Oshevile just said. And we know is the Ijaw agenda called 2023. They know that as long as the UPU is not disturbed, they will work hard towards 2023 and ensure that Urhobo man becomes the governor. But people are trying to use some Urhobo people again to make sure that we continue in this subservient situation we found ourselves. And yet there are some Urhobo people who don't want this situation to end. If they really want it to end, when they heard that this is what the government wants to do, they should have come out to say, like I came out, to say it can't happen. If the agenda is to re-serve Urhobo, when the governor came up with 3 universities, 2 for Delta North, 1 for South, they will come out to question the government. If the interest of Urhobo is really the agenda, when the federal government made a statement that our money will be used to fund projects in Yoruba, in North and in the East, they will come up with something. They won't do that. They are not concerned about what is happening to Urhobos outside. Only last 2 weeks, I inaugurated the UPU Youth Emete Igere of Urhobo in Europe branch of UPU Youth Wing. And you look at them when they were celebrating, there was joy because Urhobo, because in an agenda 2023, I will move with your agenda na gwa ye emude turobo akpa okowa oru na akpa Urhobo mi wa gbelu to